Hello friends, Ministry of Education has released the index named Performance Grading Index 2.0. This index basically measures the schools and the education levels in different states as well as different districts. Let us understand what is the Performance Grading Index and what are its major aspects which are important for our examination. So basically the context is that PGI 2.0 has been released and it is for years 2021 and 22. Now the major point of this index is that no state has been able to come in the top bracket, which is named as Daksh. So basically we understand from this that performance of schools in India is a bit down according to this index. Whenever you start answering a question based on education, it is a good idea to start in the introduction with SDG. For education, the SDG is SDG 4, that is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all by the year 2030. If we talk about the performance grading index, there have been certain changes from the initial index which was released in 2017. Because of this, now the index is called as PGI 2.0. As I told you, the index is released by Ministry of Education, and within that it is released by Department of School Education and Literacy. The objective of the index is to provide efficient, inclusive and equitable school education system. It will be clearer when we look at the parameters of the index. However, one major aspect of this index is that here we see the potential areas in which quick response interventions can be made. In any index, the major aim is to provide some policy areas or opportunities where if a state is working hard, then there is a better chance of ranking improvement. Now let us understand that what are the major parameters under PGI 2.0. Please remember that there are two categories in PGI 2.0. First is outcomes and then there is governance management. Many a times UPSC has asked questions on the categories, the domains or the indicators of particular indices. Here we have two categories, as I told, the outcomes and governance management. These four domains are learning, outcomes and quality, second is access, third is infrastructure and facilities, and fourth is equity. All these four domains, they come under outcomes. The second category is governance management and it has two domains. One is governance processes and next is teacher education and training. Also, it would be good to remember that there are 73 indicators in Performance Grading Index 2.0. Now let us understand each domain one by one. If we look at learning, outcomes and quality, it is basically measured by the learning outcomes in various subjects like maths, science, social science as well as language. For the purpose of measuring these subjects, we look at the results of classes 3rd, 5th, 8th and 10th. So you can try to remember this because UPSC can ask these questions in this format. As we see, the level of difficulty in prelims is increasing day by day. So it might be possible that UPSC may ask you that what are the different classes for which these measurements are done. So here we see that the measurements are taken for classes 3, 5, 8 and 10. The second major domain is access. If we are talking about access, then here measurement is done on the basis of net enrollment ratio, the retention rate, that how many children are retained over the education system, the completion rate of education, which refers to how many students complete all of their classes, and then participation. Similarly, if we talk about infrastructure, infrastructure is a broad category having many indicators. For example, in infrastructure, we look at the schools having information and communication technology labs, schools which are having smart classes installed, then the schools which are having science labs, the schools which are having separate rooms for co-curricular activities as well as arts and crafts, schools having good libraries, schools which are offering vocational courses. Now what do we mean by a vocational course? Basically, vocational course is a course which makes us ready for employment in the outer world. When we go out of schools and want to get employed, then vocational courses help us get employed. So first of all, we are measuring the vocational courses, whether they are offered by the schools or not. Also, we are measuring that after vocational courses, how many students get placed and how many students open up their own business, that is, they become self-employed. Apart from that, here we are also measuring the midday meals. How many schools are able to offer midday meals on every day. Similarly, the health checkups which are done in the schools, rainwater harvesting facilities, drinking water facilities, as well as the installation of solar panels to harness solar electricity. These are the major indicators which are seen in the infrastructure and facilities domain. If we look at equity, equity is again a very important domain. Here we try to measure the differences between the general category and the other category students. For example, in equity we are measuring the difference in student performances in subjects between general as well as SC category. We measure between general and ST category. We measure what is the difference between rural schools as well as urban schools. We measure the performances of boys versus girls. We also measure the differences in transition rate between different categories. But one major aspect of equity is that we measure children with special needs and the infrastructure which is friendly to them. For example, the children with special needs, how many schools have ramps to make the school accessible for such students? How many schools have friendly toilets for such students? These are the basic things which are measured in equity. Now coming to the next category, this is governance management. Then there are two domains as we talked about, governance processes and teacher training. If we talk about governance process, it looks at different aspects just like digital attendance. How many schools offer digital attendance for students as well as for teachers? Then next is number of days taken by state governments to release the funds. See, in here also, it is not just the school which is having a responsibility towards improving the level of education. It is also the state. So if state is taking a long time to release the funds, then again the level of indicator will fall. If the state makes a haste and it releases the payments in due time, then again the indicator will improve and so will the rating. Apart from that, other aspects like having internet, the schools having internet is also looked at in governance processes. In teacher education and training, we are majorly looking at the professional qualifications of the teacher who are employed in the school. In this, we look at whether a particular level, for example, primary, secondary, upper primary, senior secondary, are the teachers having education levels which are prescribed for that particular standard or not. So these are the major aspects or the parameters. Now again, it would be good if you could make a list of how many indicators are there, how many domains are there, and if it is possible, please make a list of the domains according to their weight. For example, here you can see that equity is having the most weightage. Then comes learning outcomes. So these things can be asked in your examination. UPSC can ask you to arrange these domains in ascending or descending order of their weights. If you can make such a list, please comment so that we can also have the benefit of looking at that list. Apart from that, see, it is always a great idea to get engaged with such topics. If you want to engage, you can write any doubts which comes in your mind in the comment section. If you want, you can write such answers like what is the ascending or descending order of these weights or the domains. That will increase your engagement level and it will lead to a greater retention of such facts in your memory. Now moving on, see, apart from that, a major aspect of this topic which can come in your exam is the grades. So basically, what are grades? Grades refer to what is the level of education in that particular state. For example, see what happens is, to get the grades, you can see that it is starting from 401. So the logical question would be, why did it start from 401 and not from 0 itself? See, for this, what we do is, first of all the indicators weightage is taken. Then the state having minimum weightage is marked. For example, here the minimum weightage was given as almost 420. So now we deduct 420 from the total number, that is 1000, and now the gap between the total and the lowest state is almost 600. It is 580, but we are taking a round number, that is 600. Now we divide 600 into 10 separate equal brackets of 60 points each. So you can see that each of these brackets is 60 points, 60, 60 like that. Again, we can see that here we see that up to 10%, then 10 to 20%, then 30%. These are the scores and the categories. So this is how we have divided the different aspects and the total scores. Now, the states which come in the topmost range, that is 940 to 1000, they will be called as Daksh. The next grade is Utkarsh, then Ati Uttam and Uttam. Then 3 grades are Pracheshta 1, 2 and 3, and then the Akanshi 1, 2, 3 states are there. See, one major benefit of this kind of ranking system is that we do not need to worry about coming first or second in this ranking. Why? Because if you are good, then every state can come in the Daksh category. That is, if all of the states start to improve, they can improve to the topmost category without fearing that they would come first or second or third in this ranking. So there is a category, not a particular rank in this index, which is a good thing about this index. Now let us have a look at the outcome so that we can understand that what is the result of this performance grading index 2.2. The question might come that how many states they came in the Daksh, that is the topmost bracket. So you can see that not just in Daksh, but also the top 5 grades, there is not a single state which has come in these grades. Daksh, Utkarsh, Ati Uttam and Uttam, as well as Pracheshta first, there is no state. The first state which is ranked in this index comes in Pracheshta 2. And here we are having one state and one union territory. Here we have Punjab and Chandigarh. So please remember these are important because these are toppers in the education system, Chandigarh and Punjab. Then comes Pracheshta 3, where we have 6 states, Gujarat, Kerala, Maharashtra, Delhi, Puducherry and Tamil Nadu. Then Akanshi 1, 2 and 3. Here it is important to remember the name of the top category, and in fact it would be good if you can prepare a list that we have Daksh, then we have Utkarsh, then we have Uttam series, then we have Pracheshta, and then last we have Akanshi. So please remember them. This also can be asked in the examination. But then also remember Pracheshta 2, because here we have the first, that is the best performing states. Apart from that, you should also remember Akanshi 3 because it is having the least performing states, and please remember their names: Arunachal, Meghalaya and Mizoram. You can also use this data in your mains examination because you can write that the states in northeast, they are not performing well. Not only these, you can see even Nagaland as well as Tripura. These states, in fact Ladakh also, which is bordering Himalayas, these states are not performing well. So we need to take special measures for the states in northeastern region. If you are giving any state PSC, please remember your particular state. So for example, if you are giving Andhra PSC, please look at it that your Andhra is in Akanshi 1. So this is the major outcome of this index. See, please understand that always all of the indices, their aim is to provide policy research matter, so that a policy decision can be taken on the basis of that. So here we see that top 5 grades, they are empty and the states are getting ranked in the lowermost 5 grades. So that is not a good thing, and we have so much fodder, we have so much aspects where we can improve our education system, which is given here. So here, as you can see, major aspects to be studied for your examination is the ministry which is releasing this index, then we have the parameters, then we have the outcomes and the grades which you should be studying. So we have now started this English based education, that is English based videos. If you want to see the same videos in Hindi, you could go to the other channel, that is prepezee. This is prepezee English. You can also find this slide which I have recorded, which I have used in this recording on the website. I would try to give the link in the description, but then again, if it is not there, please go to the Hindi version. There you can find all the links. Because right now, since the channel is new, the YouTube is not allowing me to upload the external links, but as and when I can, I will be able to do it. So now we'll just end this topic. Thank you so much. If there is any suggestion or any topic you want me to cover, you can please comment in the comment section. If you like this video, please like it, please share it, as well as subscribe it. Thank you so much.